inch closer to the election day, the political attacks are becoming more and more personal. A recent example of this was witnessed at the NC, a tearful, unscripted moment between Democratic vice presidential candidate Tim Walz and his 17-year-old son Gus at the Democratic National Convention had unleashed a flood of praise and admiration, but it also prompted ugly online bullying. Now, Gus Walz, who has a non-verbal learning disorder as well as learning disorder, watched excitedly from the front row and sobbed openly as his father accepted the VP nomination. Walz followed up by expressing his love for his family from the stage, saying, "Hope, Gus and Gwen, you're my entire world and I love you." Now, this touching moment between father and son was captured on camera and it went viral on social media. It was largely received affectionately, but the heartwarming moment also triggered a wave of ugly comments on social media by Republican supporters. For instance, conservative commentator Ann Coulter mocked Walz's son on social media over a now deleted post. She shared a link to the post and describing the moment as "talk about weird." The backlash against Coulter was swift and ferocious. Now, the founder of Moms Demand Action Group, Shannon Watts, defended Gus in a tweet. Even a fellow Republican, Mark Molinaro, blasted her on microblogging site X. For more on this, we are now being joined by our White House correspondent, Rohit Sharma. Could you please elaborate on what has been the reaction on this so far?
Well, look, if you look at the recent posts on social media and for both the campaigns, you can't just blame one campaign on the other. It's getting a little nastier. It is definitely getting a little more out of hand, especially when it's from the Republican side. We saw what happened after Tim Walz accepted a nomination for vice president. His son was called out, different names, by conservative commentators and surrogates for Trump on social media, and Coulter stating something about Gus Walz and then retracting her statement. I mean, look, we've always seen this happening. I mean, even Democrats are to be blamed. They went overboard with the couch thing with JD Vance. They went overboard with calling all Republicans weird, and it's a reminder of the times that we live in. Most people think and form their opinion from what's going on social media. So the fact of the matter is that we probably see a lot of this going forward. And look, mudslinging, calling out things on policies and proposals is all fine, but when it does get personal, I think that's where most of Americans have an issue with that, as we saw in the case of Gus Walz. The Kamala Harris's campaign, obviously denounced and called out Donald Trump and his surrogates on their statements for Gus Walz, and similarly, there were a lot of Republicans, who called out the Kamala Harris campaigns and surrogates for the JD Vance couch issue. We definitely would see same intensity when it comes to some of these memes and some of these out of context comments, and some may even say bullying. So we'll probably see all of that. As the campaign goes and it gets down to its final stretch. But is it fair? Well, I do not know. We can't speak for everybody here. But one thing is for sure, that people do take notice of how low one campaign is going versus the other.